We are here each and every Tuesday from 7 until 7:30. Like to thank everybody that's joining us tonight as we talk Lenoir-Rhyne athletics, Lenoir-Rhyne sports for the next 30 minutes. And to my right, to your left on the screen, is the head men's basketball coach, Everick Sullivan, joining us first off tonight as we talk basketball and a little baseball, hot stove baseball, here in our program tonight. First, Coach Sullivan, last night the Bears lost their South Atlantic Conference opener 77-75. Coach, a tough loss. Let's start out with the positives. You guys came back from a 14-point deficit to take a 14-point lead in the second half.
Yeah, thanks, JuJu. Hard-fought game by our guys. We went down focused, ready to play. We knew that Newberry would play a hectic style, kind of a posse substitution pattern where they try to wear you down during the course of the game. But the idea was weather the storm. So they jump out on us. They make a lot of threes, and our guys are very resilient in their efforts. They came together as a team, and we're able to put a run together, played great defense coming out of the half, and we're able to establish the lead. Unfortunately, we're disappointed with the outcome, but there are signs of the daylight, a silver lining in the big picture, to where some guys really showed up. Billy Bales had a great performance. Bertrand Awana had a double-double with 5 blocks, so there were some bright points, but we were not able to close that game because we just weren't able to make the right play when we needed to within the last 2 minutes of the game. So it's a lot we have to learn.
Yeah, 2.5 minutes. The Bears are up about 6 points, a little over 2 minutes to go, and Newberry came back, and it came down to the final second, I guess. A couple of free throws won the game for Newberry. How would you like to replay it in your mind, those last couple of minutes?
We probably need to maybe go with a 3-guard lineup at that time. We knew they were going to trap. They were going to pressure us. Corey Thomas was fatigued. He probably scored 12 straight buckets at one point. We had the ball in his hand. We needed our freshman guards or some of our newer players to come back and assist them in the backcourt to help us advance the ball. And then we just got to be diligent about what we do, wait till they fouls, go to the free throw line and hit our free throws.
And you look at this team, 3 guys in double figures led by Billy Bales last night. Talk about those guys and how well they have been playing in the early season for the Bears.
Yeah, we're still trying to find our groove. We're still trying to get in our comfort zone. We got a different dynamic because of the 9 guys. They're working hard. They're trying to play their roles. Some a little bit too unselfish. Some maybe need to be a little bit more selfish. But Billy Bales had an opportunity, got going, hit a couple threes, and really just plays. He plays with such a tremendous amount of effort and energy. It's contagious, and we need him on the floor. We've got some bright points. Corey was able to come in this second game in a row. He's got 2 fouls in the first half. So he hadn't been able to really help us offensively in the first half. Second half, he puts on a scoring clinic. We get the lead, and Bertrand Awana, big Awana, just man to paint. He's a force down low. He's able to get offensive rebounds. Corey threw him a lob dunk, really ignited our bench. So we got a lot of different pieces. The problem is trying to put those pieces together to make a nice puzzle.
Yeah, consistency. You mentioned Awana had 12 points, 13 rebounds, and 5 block shots. You said 2 of the things you wanted to hold in terms of important themes or keys for this team, defense and rebounding. What have you seen with those 2 areas in the first few games?
Great. Field goal percentage defense is like 41, and 3-point defense is like 30, 33. Defense has been outstanding. Rebounding, last game, gave up too many offensive rebounds, probably the 2 games before. Yesterday, I think they beat us maybe by 2, but I think it was a 1-point difference in the rebounding charts. Defensively rebounding, I think we're right where we need to be. Our struggles have been offensive consistency. I think we talked about it earlier. I didn't know early in the Citadel game how we could score that many points. I just didn't see it because I've seen us kind of struggle offensively. And not sure if it's one individual or if we're going to be able to do it as a collective unit, but we got to figure out ways to get points more consistent.
A lot to like in this basketball team, as you mentioned. After last night's tough loss, what was it like in practice?
I think that's the one thing about this group. They were down by 14 in Newberry and turned around and ended up being up by 14 or 11. So they have the fight in them, there's no doubt. They'll come back to practice. They'll be prepared. But The problem is trying to get them to understand a little bit of a trust factor. So you got guys who've played different roles in a lot of different areas. You got to trust each other. And sometimes your teammates got to make that shot, and you got to make the pass, or your teammates got to take the charge, and you got to go get the rebound. So it's different roles, different nights. They're a resilient bunch. They love each other. They play for each other, and I think that's the most important thing.
Thanksgiving coming up as you're back in action on Saturday, back home against Limestone.
Yes.
Talk about Limestone. What do you know about them, and what kind of a challenge will they be after coming off the South Atlantic Conference opener?
Yeah, Ncaa tournament team from last year. They have some good guard play. I think they got a couple transfers into the program. They have a couple guys in the interior that are lengthy and have some athleticism. It'll be another challenge. Our schedule has probably been, a top 5, top 10 schedule so far. I keep telling our guys, stay the course. It's going to help us in the end. When we get into conference, we'll start winning some of these close games. Got a positive attitude. I think it's the hardest thing to do is to stay positive when you lost 2 games at the buzzer. So, just continue to text those guys, reinforce, hey, we'll be all right. Just stay the course, and we'll get our win.
Pretty much the theme. We had a chance to talk with Billy right before the program, and he said we just need to win.
Yeah.
Just really need to win to maybe build some momentum.
Yeah, it's really, I think it's new, uncharted territories for me as a coach. I've been in situations where we've lost 2 or 3 in a row, but I think you just, as a head coach, it's a little bit different pressure in terms of you wanting to win for those guys because you see them working so hard and you see them what they're capable of. So we'll go back to, as a staff, we'll go back into the office, figure out how to tweak some things and make some adjustments and come out and get ready for Limestone.
When you talk about Saturday's game, between now and Saturday, practice times, are you going to have the guys work, or are you going to work around the holiday?
Well, no, we took today off. We're practicing. We'll take off maybe Thanksgiving Day and maybe come back that night. And get some shots in. Let's work off some of the food. But we don't have time to really too much celebrate. But I do want them. It's that time of the year where you should spend it with your family if you're close enough. But the guys who are not close enough, they'll probably come over to my house and we'll have a Thanksgiving dinner and enjoy it.
Hey, let's talk about Thanksgiving. Everybody has their great memories about Thanksgiving. Growing up, what were some of your fond memories of this time of the year?
Small town kid from South Carolina, spent Thanksgiving with a number of family members at my grandmother's house. We called her Ganny, and she held it down, did all the cooking, and you got 20 to 30 people over her house enjoying Thanksgiving. Great time, great memories. It's changed a little bit as you get older. You don't have as many family members around as you used to, or now you're coaching. It takes you away from being able to go and spend time with the majority of your family, but you'll never forget those days, and you'll always hold those dearly.
When you talk about Thanksgiving, I can remember growing up in western Pennsylvania this time of the year around Thanksgiving. If the weather was okay, after Thanksgiving, we watch a little football, then go outside and pile up a bunch of leaves and play football. Yeah. But if it was snowing, honest to goodness, we go outside and get the shovels out and shovel off the snow and play basketball when it was less than 30 degrees. Do you have those kind of memories?
Yeah, did y'all play Kill the Man with the Ball?
Yeah, we did.
Played Kill the Man with the Ball.
We had a different name for it, but yes.
Yeah, we called Kill the Man with the Ball. In college, my Thanksgiving was the Maui Classic. I mean, we had some great trips. We took a trip to the Maui Classic. I had an unbelievable game over there. I remember that. Spending time with your teammates. You have the opportunity to play in those type tournaments which are going on. But I agree. Go outside after you eat. Go out and play with your friends and your family, and just really enjoy time with your friends and your family.
And, of course, with his basketball team, this is an ideal time for them to bond and to get closer.
I think we got a great close-knit group. I really do, JuJu. I think these guys understand that we have a lot of growth that has to happen. We got to continue to grow as a team. But more than anything, just got to be a little bit more mentally tough down the stretch. We got to really figure out how to do the little things to close a game out. And sometimes when you got a new team together, it's hard to figure out how to win. Like, you got to winning has to be something that you have to figure it out, and some teams figure it out on their own terms. So we're trying to shorten that learning curve. I believe in these guys. I think they believe in what we're doing. We're going to trust the process, and I think it'll take care of itself.
I guess in some sports, in racing, they call it seat time, and in football, being on the field more, and on the basketball court, just get that experience, what you're talking about. Final question, as you look back at your Thanksgiving memories, what are your favorite foods? What do you like to enjoy around Thanksgiving?
I'm a turkey guy. I like turkey, dressing, green beans. I'm a big candy yam guy. I don't know if you know much about. I love candy yams. I just like enjoying it. I love the football game. I don't know who's going to play in the football game on Thanksgiving Day, but nowadays there's usually a basketball game somewhere around on a channel or two. So just great memories, and I'm looking forward to enjoying that time with my family.
Thanks for joining us. Continued good luck, and good luck on Saturday.
Thank you, JuJu. Thank you.
Head coach Everick Sullivan. Fans, let's give him a hand. The men's basketball team, and we're going to welcome in. Hey, introduce one of your players, Coach. We got another guest.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have Billy Bales coming to the mic. Had a great game last night. We needed every bit of his energy. He's an outstanding young man, even a better person than he is a player. So, Billy Bales.
All right, Billy Bales for the Bears, 22 points last night to lead the team in scoring. Welcome. First time you've been on TV?
Yes, sir.
First time, okay. Hey, talk about this young basketball team that you're a part of this year. And Coach Sullivan has mentioned it a little bit in our discussions. What's it been like playing for Coach Sullivan and this new team with 9 new guys on the squad?
Oh, well, we got a great group of guys. It's awesome to be in the locker room with them every day. Coach Sullivan, our coaches, everything they do for us, the encouragement, all that stuff. It's a great thing to be around.
He talked about you and some of the others are the backbone of the team in terms of leadership. Do you embrace that role as being one of the team leaders?
Oh, absolutely. All my life, as long as I can remember, it's just always been hard work and just trying to lead by example. And I really take pride in that every day to try to lead the team and be that guy, like his coach says, the energy and the toughness and stuff like that. So I take pride in it.
Last night's game, obviously, very tough loss. Did you talk to some of your teammates about how tough it is to play at Newberry and their style of play?
Oh, yeah. Well, every year they have a really talented team, and their style of play is really difficult to play against. But I think last night we had a chance to win, and we just had some mental breakdown in the game. But I think our guys responded really well with some of their first times playing there. So, like Coach said, we just got to bounce back and get back to work.
You have gone through in your career at Lenoir-Rhyne a lot of changes. Talk about how you ended up at Lenoir-Rhyne in the first place. You have an interesting story.
Yeah, so I went to prep school out of high school, actually down in Lenoir at Moravian Prep, and Coach Lentz was obviously the one that recruited me. I loved it here when I came on my visit. I still love it to this day. I'll love it forever. So played for Lentz for a year, and then Coach Odom came in. We made a pretty good run that year, and then last year we had some spurts, but we had some struggles as well. But I think this year's team, we have a chance to really make some noise. We just got to keep working and keep getting better.
Do your teammates have a nickname for you, since I guess you're one of the oldest guys on the team?
Yeah, it's funny. When we go in the training room and stuff, some of the trainers will walk in. They'll be like, "There's old man Billy," or "There's old man Reed," and some of our younger teammates, we joke around with them because we say they were in the 8th grade when we were seniors in high school. So we get a lot of jokes out of that. But all in all, I love our team. We got a lot of young guys, older guys, guys from all over the area, the country. And I've never been on a team personally this close, top to bottom. Everyone gets along, bus rides, we all hang out and stuff. So I think the environment in the locker room is incredible, and Coach Sullivan and his staff has done a great job in bringing in players who fit that culture that he's trying to build, and I think Lenoir-Rhyne basketball is really where it should be.
And as what you said right before we went on, just need a victory to get things rolling.
Yeah, Reed's my roommate, and we talked about it today. We're right there, we're right, I think it's like 15 or 16 points in our 4 losses, and we're right where we need to be. We just got to figure out a way to get over that little hump, but once we get that first win, I think it's going to put some confidence in our guys' heads, and they're going to know that we can really play, that our record doesn't show how talented we are and stuff. So I think that first win is it's big for us.
Well said. Hey, Thanksgiving on Thursday. Are you a turkey person, ham? What do you like?
I'm a turkey guy. I do like stuffing. I recently just started eating deviled eggs, so I'm really looking forward to eating some of those on Thanksgiving because I've not really ate those growing up. So just getting into that recently, I'm pretty excited about that and some turkey. But all in all, just spending time with some family and some friends and just getting some downtime to relax. And
what do you have fond memories of Thanksgiving? growing up?
Family and friends, man.
You're from Tennessee, right?
Yes, sir. Just really every Thanksgiving, spending time with family and friends. And, in high school we played Thanksgiving tournaments and stuff like that. So just growing up, really just spending time with the people you love and doing the things you love. And when in high school and growing up in elementary, you get out of school and stuff like that. But, in college, they give you homework and stuff through the break. So we'll just be doing that and hanging out with the team. And I think we got 3 days before our next game, so we're going to get some good practice time in. And really just excited for the season to keep progressing. I know the record doesn't look good right now, but, we're going to be in the mix when things matter, so that's all that matters.
Hey, man, well said. Thank you very much. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy
Billy
Thanksgiving.
Bales for the Bears. Let's give him a hand as the Bears again next in action. Lenoir-Rhyne taking on Limestone. The Major League Baseball winter meetings start in a couple of weeks, so we thought we'd do a little, baseball talk tonight. Hot Stove League baseball talk, bringing in the head baseball coach, Tom Fleenor, for Lenoir-Rhyne. Coach Fleenor, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
All right, Coach Fleenor starting his 5th season for the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears. And, Coach, it's that time of the year, winter time, hot stove talk. Talk a little bit about the preview for the Bears baseball. You guys start up pretty soon. First off, some guys you brought in, some of the recruits you brought in that you hope to make an impact this year.
Well, you always really depend on your junior college transfers or any 4-year transfers that you have. So this year we just had 3 junior college transfers that came in, 2 from Pitt Community College here in North Carolina. They actually made it to the Division II Junior College World Series last year, and we got 2 very good players off of that team, Caleb Beatty and Aaron Stamper. And then we got a big right-handed pitcher out of Herkimer Community College in New York to come in and bolster our pitching staff. So you never know what the freshmen are going to do. So, the transfers you bring in, you hope those are the ones that are going to make an immediate impact. And any freshmen that might be able to do that are just really a surprise.
How do you like your program right now heading into your 5th year?
A lot better than I liked it at the end of last year. We made some dramatic improvements, more to the chemistry of our club and the culture of our club. We had a couple locker room issues last year that we had to deal with, and moving forward, I think we're talented. I think we've got a better team, and hopefully it'll equate to some more wins.
Last year, you started off the season with 9 or 10 wins to start off the campaign. Getting off to a good start, is that important to this program and to this year's team?
Not really. We just want to learn every weekend, every midweek game. I want us to be at our strongest at the middle to the end of the year, and a big part of that is just improving throughout the year and not really hit our peak early. There's some things we can do to kind of control that, but I'm not really looking at early results as an end-all to how our season is going to play out. But in the end, if we just continue to improve, continue to work hard, continue to follow our core values, I think we'll be fine in the end.
Talk about fall baseball. You guys are underway, right? I've seen some players out there, and you guys are working out as you get ready. What is fall baseball in the NCAA Division II? And talk about what it entails and what it involves. A lot different than a regular season.
Well, we get a half hour a week to practice.
Say that again.
No, just a little bit more, but we have to. We don't get too many hours to practice, but we do it the best we can. I thought we had a really good fall team practice session, which ended about a week and a half ago. We've just gotten back into 3 to 4 days of weightlifting a week. So the team practice you can't do all you want to do in the weight room during that period because of an hour's limitation. But we lift a lot before. We lift some during our team practice period. And then once we finished our team practice period, we're back in the weight room full time. So we're getting a lot of work done and following all the Ncaa rules and just getting all we can in.
When's training camp begin?
Oh, I'm sorry?
When does training camp begin for the spring and for the regular season?
Whatever that Sunday is before school starts, midnight that night. Yeah, we'll go at 12:01 a.m. that Sunday before school starts on Tuesday.
In January?
In January.
12:01.
12:01. It's
Okay.
legal. It's legal.
Hey, you got a special guest with you tonight. Before we bring him on and talk about him, you've over the last couple of years, you've had some guys get drafted and make it into the minor leagues as professional players and on their way up. One of those players is here tonight. We'll talk more about him, but talk about the experience it has been for you and how proud you are to see some of these guys in the LR's program being recognized, having guys getting drafted into Major League Baseball.
I've been fortunate enough over my 25 years of college coaching to have over 100 kids drafted that I've coached, and it never gets old. And very proud of all of our kids that have been drafted. Ivan Vietes, Matthew De La Rosa, Thomas St Clair is here tonight, John Luke Curtis, Tad Ratliff, who signed as a free agent this past summer with the Kansas City Royals. So, and I think it puts the LR brand out there in a different venue. It's not just Division II athletics. I mean, we're talking professional sports, and we've been able to have 4 draft picks in the last 3 years, including a free agent signee. So I think it extends the brand of LR into different venues that maybe, it hasn't been in the past. So and it's been a long time. So very proud of those guys. Very proud of the fact that they come back to Hickory to train in the off season. I mean, they're all here, besides Matthew De La Rosa, who's back in Texas. He suffered a little bit of an arm injury at the end of his first minor league season. But all 4 of those other guys, they're here. They're training with us, and I couldn't be happier. That makes me even more proud than just the fact they got drafted, but they choose to come back here and work with us during their offseason, which they know is crucial for their development.
Tell me and inform me, is it unusual to have an NCAA Division II program get 2 pitchers drafted in one year and then have another pitcher on that same squad sign as a free agent? Is that unusual?
If you're not the University of Tampa, it's very unusual. So, we've been very fortunate to just have the draft picks, but have the multiple draft picks this past year. It was a real feather in our cap. We didn't have the season that we wanted, but in the end, we are trying to develop each and every kid, whether that's for them to go into the professional ranks in baseball or the professional ranks of life. And, it just, like I said earlier, it just never gets old.
Thomas St. Clair is with us. What has he meant, or what did he mean to the program over the last couple of years?
Well, Thomas is an interesting story. Thomas came in as an extremely, and I mean extremely, immature young man, but he learned how to work. He was always a great teammate. He was always the funny guy, but he didn't understand when it was time to be funny and when it was time to work. And once he figured that out, he took off. Couldn't be any prouder of Thomas and what he's done and what he's going to do. He grew as a young man in our program, and that had a lot to do with where he is right now in pitching professional baseball.
Was there a light bulb moment, a light bulb game or practice that maybe turned the corner for him?
There were some light bulb moments, but I don't know if it's something I could share in public. But yeah, there were definitely some eye-opening moments for him where me and a couple other of our coaches, Evan Wise, our pitching coach at the time, Nick Flashowski, who's our pitching coach now, had to kind of sit Thomas down and say, hey, if you want to get to where you could potentially get to, this is what is happening. This is what's going to have to be done. And much to his credit, he did it. And I'll tell you a quick story. Nick Flashowski, it's funny that they went to high school together. Okay, now Thomas was just a freshman when Nick was a senior. And Nick and a few of his high school teammates actually locked Thomas St. Clair in a locker. I don't know, the details vary, but I don't know, 30 minutes, an hour. But Nick was actually part of getting Thomas locked in a locker his freshman year in high school, which I thought was a real growing moment for him.
Hey, 10-4 for your team last year. He had a bunch of strikeouts. I think it was all-state performer. And I'm going to ask him, did you kind of know when this season was going on, this was a kid that was going to get looked at and get drafted? Did you see a lot of scouts at some of your games?
Yeah, we had a lot of scouts. He made the commitment after his junior year not to go out and pitch in summer baseball, which a lot of guys do. He chose to stay in Hickory. He worked on his body. He worked on his nutrition. He really worked his tail off and made every second count that summer. And going into the fall, we had seen flashes of what he could do over his first 3 years, but he was dominant in the fall. And he was a completely different person, a completely different worker. But in the end, I mean, we had an idea, didn't know it would turn into our first South Atlantic Conference Pitcher of the Year, but it did. And again, he deserved it. He absolutely deserved every bit of the accolades he got last year.
Hey, so introduce him on that note. Have him come up here.
Bring it to the stage. Even though in the minor league website it says 6'1", 186 pounds, 5'10" on a good day, Thomas St. Clair, 192.
Give him a hand, fans. Thomas St. Clair, pitcher for the Bears. Thank you, Coach Fleenor. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thomas, welcome. You guys must have got the memo. You guys are overdressed, or I'm underdressed, and I'm not sure, with the jackets and all. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here.
So how much of what Coach Fleenor talked about is actually true?
I would have to say 100%. 110 to be exact. Flea and I have a special relationship. Some stuff happened the summer before I came here as a freshman coming out of high school, and it didn't know if I was going to be a Bear or maybe going somewhere else. Looking back at it, it's the best decision I've ever made to be 4 years as a Lenoir-Rhyne Bear. We talk about all the time as a baseball team, make Lenoir-Rhyne your Alabama, and in the sense of that, it means make this your dream school, to where if you put yourself in the right place and put the right effort in, LR can be everything you've ever wanted it to be, and to me, Lenoir-Rhyne is everything that I ever wanted as an athletic and college experience, and I'm extremely proud to be a Lenoir-Rhyne athletic alumni, and come December, I'm going to be an academic alumni. So that's my next big move as of right now.
That's one heck of a selling point indeed. Hey, we always hear about minor league baseball, how tough it is. You got a little taste of it this past year, drafted in the 24th round by the St. Louis Cardinals, played in the short season league in the Appalachian League. What was it like playing minor league baseball, professional baseball for the first time?
Well, first off, I couldn't be more proud to be a member of the St. Louis Cardinals organization. Some people may disagree, but it's the best organization in baseball by far. And ever since I was 4 years old, that's been a dream. So to be 23 years old and doing exactly what I want to do, that's a very special feeling for me. I got to play against many people that I grew up playing against that went to big D1 schools. I played against kids that played on ESPN, played in Nebraska, Omaha for the College World Series. And to get out there and show them that I can compete just as well as they can and hopefully move up the lines just as fast as they can is something special to me. And I'll never forget this past year for as long as I live.
When you look at your first experience in minor league baseball, what are your takeaways? What did you learn about yourself and some of the maybe lessons that you brought from Lenoir-Rhyne and how it impacted you as you started your professional career?
Yeah, the main thing I've learned, and it comes from playing summer ball first. Nick Fleshowski, the pitching coach here, comes from a CPL team down in Gastonia, and they know that playing every day can be, Flea won't like this, but a grind. It can be an absolute grind, and as you're going through a season where you're playing every day, there's going to be ups and downs every single day, and you've got to remember that if you play bad one day, you're not having a bad career. You're just having a bad day. So every day you have to be consistent, work as hard as you can, and I learned that at LR by, well, first, when I was really bad, I didn't pitch at all, and then there was sometimes, honestly, here at LR early on where it felt like I was in timeout, to be honest with you. But consistency is the biggest thing I think I've learned at LR and in pro ball. You have to be able to succeed every day, and that's something that hopefully by having a good offseason I can do come March here coming up.
Do you foresee yourself as you look as a pitcher, starter, reliever, or it just doesn't matter right now? Too early?
Yeah, whatever my role is will be my role. At LR, we've never really worried about roles. The part is what can you contribute to the team. So come March when I head down to Palm Beach, I'm just looking to show them that I can contribute to a winning team, and whatever role I fall into will be what I fall into.
Your first ever spring training, what are some of your goals as you head into the spring?
Going into the spring, I want to make the low A full season team. It's in Peoria, Illinois, and that's going to be my main goal. So far, I think I'm having a great off season. I've done a lot of work with Nick Fleshowski so far, and he may disagree. Some days I think I'm having a good day. He thinks I'm having a bad day. Some days I think I'm having a bad day. He thinks I'm having a good day. But going into the spring, I really want to make that team in Peoria, and I think if I can do that, that'll be a great place for me to start off my first full year of professional baseball.
Coach Fleener said, are you a prankster type of person? And if you are, were there any ever Bull Durham moments in your short minor league career so far?
I can't say that I'm a prankster as much as maybe an authentic guy, as I like to call myself. But, I did have one incident where I hit a Spanish-only speaking catcher in the face mask. I got the signs mixed up between LR and the Cardinals signs. That didn't go over well, but I learned from it. I moved on.
But thankfully, he had his face mask on, hit him in the face,
he had
and not somewhere else.
He had his face mask on, but what can you do in a situation like that? I really felt like I was in a new generation at the time, and I couldn't communicate with him at all. But after this semester, I will be. I currently doing pretty well in my Spanish 2 class, but that's really the only moment I've had where I screwed up bad.
Hey, I appreciate you coming on tonight, Thomas St. Clair.
Thank you very much.
Let's give him a hand, fans. Thomas St. Clair, the former pitcher for the Bears, 24th round draft pick. Good luck in spring training this year. And that you mentioned about the single A, low A ball team. Where's that again? You said Peoria, right?
Peoria, Illinois.
And they can go online, and their nickname is Peoria.
Peoria Chiefs.
Okay, so follow him with the Peoria Chiefs, hopefully starting in the spring with baseball. Again, Thomas St. Clair fans, give him a hand once again. Thomas, happy Thanksgiving. Thank you for joining us. All right. Fans, that'll wrap it up for Bears Talk Live. Once again, another Tuesday night. We're here each and every Tuesday from American Honor Ale House here at Holler Mill, right off Lenoir-Rhyne Boulevard. We hope to see you again next Tuesday, starting at 7 o'clock. And until next Tuesday, we say happy Thanksgiving and so long, everyone.